Sometimes, the body whispers before it ever screams. As we get older, it starts to speak to us in subtle ways, little signs that something might not be quite right. Many of these signals are easy to overlook. We brush them off as just aging or nothing serious. But doctors say some of these quiet warnings might actually mean the body is in trouble. And while that sounds frightening, knowing what to look for can give us a powerful gift. Time to act, time to heal, and time to be with the people we love most. Getting older comes with change. Everyone knows that. You may feel more tired than you used to. Food might not taste the same. You may forget names or lose interest in things that once brought you joy. Most of the time, these shifts feel small, but sometimes they aren't so innocent. Sometimes, they're signs that the body is working harder just to keep going. It's like a machine giving you clues that something inside isn't functioning the way it used to. Take fatigue, for example, not just regular tiredness, but a deep, heavy exhaustion that makes getting out of bed feel like climbing a mountain. This kind of fatigue doesn't go away after a nap or a good night's sleep. It lingers. Seniors who used to enjoy a walk in the garden or a friendly phone call may suddenly start staying in bed all day, eating less and speaking less. Loved ones may think it's just aging, but doctors warn it could be something far more serious. When organs like the heart, kidneys, or liver start to weaken, the body shifts into survival mode. It saves what little energy it has to keep the most important systems running. That's why someone might feel completely drained, even if they haven't done anything at all. They may sleep for 16 hours and still wake up tired. They might stop bathing or changing clothes. They may seem distant, confused, or not quite themselves. This kind of deep fatigue can also come with other signs: weakness in the legs, dizziness, slower movement, low blood pressure, or even moments of forgetfulness or disorientation. You might see someone who was once full of life now needing help to get across the room. And while it's easy to blame it on age, these could be signs of something far more urgent, like heart failure, serious infections, anemia, or even undiagnosed cancer. These conditions can get worse quickly, and without the right care, they can become life-threatening. What makes this so dangerous is how easy it is to miss. When someone is aging, it's tempting to chalk everything up to just getting older. But doctors say if someone's energy suddenly drops, and especially if it happens over a few days or weeks, it's worth paying attention. That drop in energy could be the body's way of asking for help. Getting checked out doesn't mean the worst is coming. In fact, catching the problem early can lead to better treatment, more comfort, and even more time. Sometimes what looks like the end isn't the end at all. It's just the body calling for support before things get worse. We understand thinking about these things is hard. No one wants to imagine losing a loved one or facing their own decline. But being aware of these signs doesn't have to bring fear. It can bring peace. It means we're not waiting until it's too late. It means we're taking steps while there's still time. So if you or someone you care about is over 60, don't ignore these changes. Watch closely. Listen to the body. Sometimes it speaks softly, but what it's saying could be the most important thing you hear. In this video, we'll go through 5 critical signs that doctors say may indicate the body is preparing for major changes, possibly even the final stages of life. But more importantly, we'll talk about how recognizing these signs early can give you a chance to act, a chance to turn things around, or at the very least, to prepare and to be present when it matters most. If this message resonates with you, or if you want to keep learning about senior health life-saving advice and how to support aging loved ones, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Your support allows us to keep sharing knowledge that could make all the difference for you or someone you love. Now let's begin by taking a closer look at the first serious sign that doctors say is often missed, but could be the body's quiet cry for help. If you notice someone becoming more withdrawn, constantly sleepy, or physically too weak to do everyday tasks, take seriously. Don't just wait and hope they will bounce back. This could be the body's way of quietly signaling that it's in distress. Early action, whether it's a visit to the doctor or adjusting medications, can sometimes slow down the decline or make the person more comfortable. Recognizing extreme fatigue as a warning sign is not about causing fear. It's about giving your loved one the attention they deserve when their body is asking for help in the only way it knows how. The second, another deeply concerning sign that doctors say should never be ignored, is a sudden loss of appetite or refusal to eat and drink. This goes far beyond being a picky eater or skipping a meal here and there. In many seniors, the complete disinterest in food and fluids, especially when it happens suddenly, is often the body's way of signaling that something serious is taking place internally. The body may be preparing to shut down, and as a result, the normal signals of hunger and thirst begin to fade. When the end of life is near, the body no longer requires as much energy because it's slowing down its major functions. Digestion becomes more difficult. The need for nutrients decreases, and the body may even find it uncomfortable to process food. That's why seniors may begin to push away meals, drink very little, and even choke slightly while eating. They might complain that everything tastes the same or has no taste at all. In some cases, they may stop eating altogether, not because of depression or emotional issues, but because their body no longer sends the right hunger signals. Family members often misunderstand this sign. They might think their loved one is just being stubborn or difficult. They may try to force food or argue about it, hoping to restore energy and strength. But doctors warn this may not help and could even make the person more uncomfortable. Instead, it's important to observe the pattern. If the senior used to enjoy meals and now shows complete disinterest for several days in a row, something deeper could be going on. This kind of change is often linked to serious medical conditions such as advanced heart failure, kidney disease, severe infections, or cancer. It may also happen when the digestive system is no longer working properly. The person might also develop dry mouth, nausea, or even begin to vomit if forced to eat. These are not ordinary signs. They reflect that the body is under severe stress and is no longer functioning normally. You may also notice weight loss, loose-fitting clothes, sunken eyes, and dry skin. These visual signs are just as important as the behavioral ones. In many cases, the person may also stop wanting water or any kind of fluids, leading to dehydration, weakness, and confusion. Doctors often see this pattern in patients who are in the final stages of life. It's critical to respond with understanding rather than panic. Try offering small amounts of soft foods, flavored liquids, or whatever brings comfort. But more importantly, contact a healthcare professional for evaluation. If caught early, some underlying causes of appetite loss can still be managed or treated. Even if the body is nearing the end, knowing how to support a loved one during this stage can make a major difference in comfort and dignity. The body speaks through signals like this. It's up to us to listen with care and act wisely. The third and other alarming sign that doctors often point out is noticeable changes in breathing patterns. Breathing is something we rarely think about until it becomes irregular. For seniors, especially those with underlying health conditions, strange breathing behaviors can be a serious sign that the body is in distress. When the end of life may be approaching, the way a person breathes can change dramatically, and these changes should never be ignored. Some people may begin to breathe much more slowly than usual, with long pauses in between breaths. Others may start to breathe very quickly, even while resting. This can be accompanied by shallow breathing or gasping for air. You may hear a crackling or gurgling sound, sometimes called a death rattle, which happens when the person is no longer able to clear fluids from their throat or lungs. These sounds are not painful, but they can be very distressing to witness. Doctors explain that such patterns usually show that the lungs and brain are no longer working together smoothly. One common change is called Cheyne-Stokes breathing. This is when a person's breathing becomes deep and rapid for a short time, then slows down, stops for a few seconds, and then starts again. It can be shocking to observe, especially for loved ones, because the person may seem like they've stopped breathing entirely, only to start again moments later. This pattern is often seen in people who are nearing the final stages of life, and it's a clear signal that the body is going through major internal changes. These breathing irregularities can happen for many reasons. The heart may not be pumping enough oxygen-rich blood, or the lungs may not be able to absorb enough air. Sometimes the brain signals that control breathing begin to fade. For people with chronic conditions like congestive heart failure, COPD, or neurological diseases, these symptoms may arrive gradually or suddenly. Regardless of the cause, abnormal breathing should always be taken seriously. Family members often feel helpless when they see their loved one struggling to breathe. It's important to stay calm and create a peaceful environment. Keep the person sitting up or slightly raised in bed to make breathing easier. avoid loud noises or too much movement around them, which could increase discomfort. Moistening the lips and using a humidifier can also provide relief. Most importantly, seek medical help immediately if any breathing change appears suddenly and without explanation. These breathing signs may mean that the body is preparing to shut down, but they can also sometimes be managed with the right care. Doctors can offer oxygen, medications, and comfort strategies that help ease this phase. Recognizing abnormal breathing as a warning signal doesn't mean giving up hope. It means acting wisely and compassionately when time matters most. Watching someone breathe differently may seem small, but it can be one of the clearest ways the body says something is wrong. Pay attention. That awareness can make all the difference. If you're finding these signs helpful and eye-opening, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We share clear, simple, and practical health advice made especially for seniors and their families, because recognizing these signs early can make all the difference. Our goal is to give you the knowledge you need to support your loved ones with confidence, care, and peace of mind. Now let's move forward and talk about the fourth serious signal, a physical change that often shows up right on the surface of the skin, but gets missed far too often. The fourth sign is a subtle but deeply important one: sudden changes in the skin's color or temperature. Doctors say this can be one of the body's most visible cries for help. It may start quietly. Maybe someone's hands or feet feel colder than usual. You might notice a slight bluish tint in the fingertips or lips, or patches of skin that turn pale, gray, or even purple. These may seem like small changes at first, but they can be warning signs that the blood isn't flowing properly, or that oxygen isn't reaching where it needs to go. As the heart or lungs begin to weaken, they can struggle to do their jobs. The heart may not pump blood as strongly. The lungs may not be bringing in enough oxygen. And the skin, especially in the hands, feet, face, or legs, is often the first place these issues show up. It's like the body is waving a small flag, trying to let you know something deeper is going on inside. In more advanced cases, you may notice something called mottling. This looks like patchy, reddish-purple spots on the legs, feet, or arms. It usually starts at the toes and spreads upward. Mottling happens when blood flow slows dramatically near the end of life. It's not painful, but it's one of the clearest physical signs that the body is beginning to shut down. There's also clammy skin, cold and damp to the touch, or skin that suddenly looks pale, shiny, or hollow, especially around the cheeks and eyes. These changes may come along with other symptoms, like weakness, shortness of breath, or confusion. And while these signs can feel subtle in the moment, they carry powerful meaning about what's happening internally. Unfortunately, it's easy to overlook these changes. Family members may assume their loved one is just cold or chalk it up to age. But healthcare professionals say that the skin can offer some of the most honest signals about how well the body is functioning. So if someone's skin suddenly changes color, if their hands and feet are unusually cold, or if they look washed out or sunken, don't ignore it. These signs deserve attention. They could point to something that needs urgent care, or, at the very least, they may be telling you that it's time to seek guidance and support from a medical professional. Acting early might mean a chance to improve blood flow, provide comfort, or begin necessary treatments. And even if the condition is more serious, being informed gives you the ability to respond with clarity, compassion, and calm. It gives families a moment to come together, prepare, and offer the kind of presence and care that matters most during these delicate times. Now let's talk about the fifth and final warning sign, one that can feel especially personal and emotional. It's not something you see on the body, but something you witness in the mind and behavior. The fifth sign is a sudden or unusual change in mental state. And this one, more than most, catches people off guard. When the body begins to slow down, the brain is often affected too. A loved one who was once sharp, chatty, and aware may start to seem confused, disoriented, or withdrawn. They might forget familiar names, repeat themselves, or have trouble finishing thoughts. They may start to talk about things that don't make sense, or think they're in a different time or place entirely. Sometimes this happens slowly over weeks. Other times, it can change in just a day or two. Either way, it can feel like you're losing someone even while they're still right in front of you. And that makes this sign incredibly difficult for families to witness. They might stop recognizing the people they've known their whole lives. They may mix up memories, forget where they are, or seem detached from the present moment. It's not just memory loss. It's a shift in how the brain is functioning. Doctors say this could be caused by reduced oxygen to the brain, infections, organ failure, or even a buildup of toxins in the body. These changes in awareness often signal that the body is under deep internal stress. But they also offer families a chance to respond with love, patience, and presence. Medical evaluation is important, of course, but emotional connection matters just as much. Talking softly, holding hands, playing familiar music. These little acts of care can bring surprising comfort in moments of confusion. And just like the other signs we've shared, noticing this one early can sometimes make a big difference. Some causes of mental change, like dehydration, infections, or medication issues, are treatable. But even if the decline is part of something more serious, knowing what's happening gives you the ability to show up for your loved one with understanding instead of fear. One condition that's closely tied to this mental shift is delirium, a sudden, often dramatic state of confusion. A senior who seemed fine just days ago may suddenly become restless, agitated, or even experience hallucinations. They might see or hear things that aren't there, struggle to recognize familiar faces, or seem lost in a different time or place. Unlike dementia, which tend to appear gradually over time, delirium can come on very quickly, and doctors consider it a medical emergency. It can be triggered by things like infections, dehydration, changes in medication, or the body's organs beginning to shut down. Some seniors may also begin to pull away emotionally. They may stop speaking, seem uninterested in things they once loved, or appear distant and detached. Others might say things that catch family members off guard, like talking about loved ones who have already passed, or expressing a strong desire to go home, even if they're sitting in their favorite chair. While these moments can feel unsettling, doctors say they're not unusual. In many cases, they're part of the body and mind preparing for closure, signs of letting go rather than fear. There are also physical reasons behind these changes. When vital organs like the kidneys or liver stop working properly, toxins can build up in the body and affect how the brain functions. This can cause mental fog, confusion, and even moments of complete disorientation. And while some of these changes can be treated or improved if caught early, others signal that the body is reaching the end of what it can handle. For caregivers and loved ones, witnessing these changes can be heartbreaking. But doctors encourage families to meet these moments with patience and gentleness. If a loved one says something confusing, there's no need to correct or argue. Just being present, offering a calm voice, holding their hand, creating a quiet, peaceful environment, can ease their anxiety more than any explanation ever could. Changes in mental clarity don't always mean the end is near. But when they appear alongside other signs like extreme tiredness, lack of appetite, breathing changes, or skin discoloration, they may point to something much more serious. And while that truth can be painful to face, recognizing these signs for what they are can become an act of love. It allows families to shift their focus to care, comfort, and connection during a time when those things matter most. Because ultimately, these signs are not just warnings. They're the body's way of asking for presence, for attention, for love. They're reminders that life is delicate, and that every quiet moment we share with our loved ones is a gift. When we recognize these changes early, we give ourselves and our families time. Time to act, time to bring in support, time to sit together in silence or laughter, to say the words that matter, to simply be there. And that can be the greatest comfort of all. So if you notice any of these signs in someone you care about, don't dismiss them. Trust your instincts. Reach out for medical help. And most importantly, respond with love. Sometimes just sitting beside someone in their final days, holding their hand, and letting them know they're not alone, is more healing than any medicine. If this video helped you understand these signs more clearly, please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel. We're here to bring you caring, clear, and practical advice for supporting aging loved ones, and for protecting your own health as well. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update. And thank you for being part of this growing community of people who care deeply for themselves, for their elders, and for making every moment count.